Hello goat lovers, Crystal, Emily, Darren, and all the goaties here today with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats. And today I'm going to discuss some stuff about ADGA, but first let's get these girls out to browse. Come on, babies. I don't know if you guys can see Mia and Leia back there, but they are doing really good with the herd. The big girls have not been bullying them as much. You know, of course they're making them keep their distance from them, but Leia was just kind of screaming for a few days, and as of yesterday she's done with the screaming and she's doing a lot better. She has accepted that she is part of the big girl herd now. So in our last video, you guys, I was doing the milk test on all of the does, and I actually got a lot of questions about which does earned their milk stars last year. So for those of you who didn't see, or just as a reminder, last year I did put 15 does in the herd on a one-day milk test, and that was back in March of 2021. So it has been 16 months, and I have yet to have the results submitted into the database. Like Lily, for instance, it's gonna make her a 5-star milker. Mayo earned her star, so she will be a 3-star milker. Let me see, who else? Cassie earned her star, so she's gonna be a 2-star milker. Abilene earned her star. Now what it means to earn their milk star is it's simply just showing that they are productive in making milk. And you know, again, you put the time in and the effort and you spend the money to do these kind of things, and to know it can't even be put into the database with no end in sight. So yes, I'm on the 305-day milk test this year, which is a little different than the one-day milk test, because the one-day milk test, it's just 2 milkings, and how they earn, how are you, baby? How they earn their star on a one-day milk test. Not only is it really hard for them to do, because they really have to prove themselves on those 2 milkings, but so it's going to be how much milk they weighed out, their pounds of butterfat, or the percentage of butterfat that they had in their milk, and days of lactation. So that gets calculated up, and then they have to earn a certain amount of points, and then they earn their milk star. So again, 11 of them did earn their milk star. Vader's dam, who we no longer have, Val, she even earned her milk star. So that helps Vader's offspring. And it makes their pedigrees better. It affects a lot of things. Being, you know, this year I was really just hoping that they would have it in the system by the time they had their babies, and they don't. So I don't even know when they're gonna put it in the system. And I know so many other people are having issues with ADGA. I couldn't even get into my account for a couple of weeks. It just says there is maintenance going on. It'll be up as soon as possible. And apparently everybody's accounts got messed up as far as the funds that they had in their ADGA account. Hey, hi. So I don't even know if my funds are still there, because I still can't even get into the website. But anyway, the whole purpose of this, me telling you guys that, is that yes, we do have some does that have already earned their milk stars, that are still left in the herd. Really? And I don't know when they're going to be able to be submitted. You stinker. Ain't that right? So as far as now, it's still just a waiting game, with absolutely no even estimated time for them to be able to get it done and have it fixed. So there's several issues. That's really my only issue that I've had with ADGA. I have been able to register the kids, where a lot of people haven't even been able to get kids registered. I did just recently get from a goat I sold last year, 2 babies I sold last year to a woman in Colorado. I just got her registration papers for those kids in her name. Then they sent them to me again a week later. So I don't know what's going on with ADGA right now. So ADGA is the American Dairy Goat Association. It is the main registry for dairy goats. And up until last year, they had a really good system. You could get your goats appraised, you could show them, and the show wins would go on record, which again, none of the show wins from last year or this year are on record yet either. Mayo is now supposed to be a permanent champion, and I don't know when that's going to get put in the system. So not only is Mayo a 3-star milker, but she is a grand champion. So taking that into account, I'm sorry, she's so cute. Taking that into account, that should be on her papers. That should be on her pedigree. It should be on her kids' papers and her kids' pedigrees, just showing that she is an outstanding animal. So
she's astonishing.
She is, and it's just, you know, and all I have to say is, oh well, she did win. Oh well, she does have her star, but it doesn't say it on her pedigree. It doesn't follow through for her bucklings per se. And all of that good stuff. So I'll say it again, it's getting pretty frustrating, but again, all we can do is just a waiting game. We just have to wait it out and hope that ADGA sometime at some point before 2 whole years go by, have that database working so that they could submit it and I can quit saying pending, because that would be really nice. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this shirt, actually, that my friend sent me, and I love it. So it came all the way from Australia, and it says, "Goat friends are the best friends," and it is very true. So I said that in one of my videos, so she made me a shirt, and then on the back, it says, "I goat this."
I got you.
Oh, I goat you?
Yep.
Okay.
Hashtag I goat you.
I goat you. So I love this shirt, and that was very sweet of her. And again, it came all the way from Australia from my friend Melissa. So she sent it to me and made it for me as a thank you, because I actually was asked to judge a virtual show in Australia. They send in pictures of angles of the bodies and the top and the headshot and the front view and the back angle, and then I have to go through and judge, so out of several different goats, and I had the opportunity to do that, so I did, and it was actually really fun. So I did that a few weeks ago. I judged a pygmy virtual show. Cool, huh? Okay, so now let's go make some soap. So it has been way too long since we've made soap together, you guys. So today we are going to make a rosemary soap. Now this soap is absolutely heavenly. If you guys love the smell of rosemary, then you will love, love, love this bar. So this bar, let's see if I can show you. Rosemary is said to be an anti-inflammatory, and it helps with skin conditions. So it's said to help with things like acne and eczema. It's extremely moisturizing oil, and it's also calming, so kind of like lavender, where it just kind of calms you if you feel really anxious. So this is just such a lovely, lovely bar. And then the green for the color of rosemary is spirulina, with just a tiny bit of charcoal added to make it a little bit darker. But spirulina is full of antioxidants, so it is said to help with aging and, you know, tighten up your skin and stuff. So what a great bar, right? So we're gonna go ahead and make that one today. So for starters, I have my oils here. It is olive oil, it is castor oil, and then it is shea butter and coconut oil. So I mix those together, and then I'm going to add my lovely, lovely rosemary here, and it is organic. I love essential oils, you guys. They just smell so amazing. Alright, so I'm going to mix the essential oil in here. Alright, just give it a quick little whip there. And now, this is always my favorite part because I love the way it looks. We're gonna add the milk. Look at that. It's like a lava lamp. It brings me back in time. Okay, so we're gonna mix that together real good. How lovely and creamy does that look, you guys? Just gorgeous. Okay, so this is the spirulina, and I'm going to add 8 cups once we get this into soap. So I still have to add the lye, but I'm going to add this spirulina, or I'm going to add some of the soap mixture to the spirulina to get that color. So put that to the side for now. And once we get this soap going, I'm going to move pretty quickly because I'm going to do what's called the drop swirl. So the spirulina mixture, I'm just going to drop in the remaining white soap, and then I'm going to pour it into the molds. And so it just has this really, really cool looking effect where every bar you cut is different. It just has a different swirl in it. So those are the fun ones, really fun ones to cut. But let's go with the lye, eh? Okay, I'm just going to pour it over the stick here to hopefully not cause too many bubbles. Alright, so I just kind of stir it with the blender just for a second. And then watch the color as it changes, you guys. It's going to get darker as soon as it starts turning, it's saponifying, as soon as it starts turning into a soap. So here we go. So at this point, it is absolutely to the lightest trace it could possibly be, and you don't want it to get too thick or your drops aren't gonna look good. But I always get a little nervous, and I want to make sure there's not pockets of, you know, the lye and the oil not combined well enough. So I'm gonna give it just a little bit longer. Alright, feeling good about that. It's still not thick, which we don't want it to be thick or the whole thing is ruined. Well, not ruined, but you're not going to get that pretty drop swirl. So like I said, I'm going to pour some of this mixture into here so we can mix it with the spirulina. I want about 8 cups, which is right there. And now I'm just going to briefly stick blend this mixture together so it's all incorporated real good. Let's just get this soap scraped down from the sides, check its thickness. I don't know if you guys can see that, so when it sits, it really thickens quick. Goat milk soap, don't mess around. So, just like this, you guys, randomly dropping it in. There's so many things that's satisfying about making soap, I tell you what. Fun! Okay, let's scrape out the rest. Another thing to hurry for, because if you don't get it poured into the mold quickly, then it kind of affects that drop swirl technique also. Okay, so good enough there. Let's get our molds. And ready, set, pour, guys. Let's go. You see how that's just going to give it this swirly effect? It's going to look different throughout. It's going to be gorgeous. And it smells heavenly. It's just thickening up on me as we speak. Okay, so for the topping, this is just a swirl top. Just kind of try to even it out a bit without really mixing it in too much. That's not your goal here. You want it to be swirly. Nice, eh? When I first started making soap, I didn't know what to do for a topping, and they were actually really hard and intimidating for me, the toppings were. And so I just kind of used the skewer for a lot of the soaps that I made in my learning days. And of course I'm still learning. I try to learn every day about soaps, but keeping it fresh. But anyway, I fell in love with this one because it is so easy and it's really hard to mess up, and it looks pretty in the end. So this Rosemary Soap gets this swirl here, and this is just an overgrown skewer. So here we go. You're just gonna swirly swirl. If it's not thick enough, you don't get the real pretty swirls. But if your soap is too thick, it'll straight cut through them and cut through it and leave like kind of holes and gapes. So it's kind of a little bit of a window you just get a little window, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. Okay, I'm going to go back on this one, make them just a little more obvious. There we go. Alright. Love it, you guys. I know I've said it, but man, this soap smells so good. Okay, I am happy with that. And that's it, you guys. So now we have Rosemary Soap, and I can't wait to cut it, because again, when you cut these ones, it's just like every single bar looks different. And you're like, oh, look at that swirl. Oh, look how pretty that swirl turned out. So you get to geek out on some soap. So, alright, we got to get these in the cooler box so that when they start heating up and turning into and saponifying, they don't heat up too much. Alright, honey orange soaps, I brought you some friends. Lovely. Like I said, guys, the Rosemary is a new listing, so it is up on our Etsy shop right now. So head on over to the Etsy shop. The link is in the description below, and go get yourself some goat milk soap. Your skin will thank you, I promise. So other than that, you guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to start cleaning up, and I will see you guys again soon.